Sean is a 65-year-old male with osteoarthritis of the right wrist. He is having difficulty lifting his right upper extremity due to pain and aching. He has limited wrist mobility and strength. He has weak pinch and grip strength. He is unable to bear weight in his right wrist. He has chronic wrist pain, edema, and stiffness at night, and limited functional use of the right hand and wrist for completing ADLs, IADLs, and leisure activities. Hello, my name is Reagan Push. I'm going to be the occupational therapy student helping you today. Can you give me your name and date of birth?
Sean Mendez, April 2nd, 1958.
Can I check your wristband? All right, perfect. Okay, so first I'm going to take your vitals. So can you give me your left arm? Your right hand. Thank you. Okay, your pulse is 118 over 78. And your pulse ox is 95. Okay, do you mind if I remove this?
I sure can.
Okay, now I'm just gonna take your pulse. Okay, your pulse is 82 and your respirations are 16.
Thank you.
Okay, Sean, so I see that you have osteoarthritis in your right wrist and it's causing you some difficulty. Can you tell me how you're feeling today and how your symptoms are?
Yeah, I'm okay. It just aches and pains. My wrist does. It's really hard for me to do anything throughout the day just because of how much pain I experience. So,
can you rate your pain for me on a scale of 1 to 10?
So when I'm not really doing anything, like right now, I'm at a 6. But when I start doing stuff, it shoots up from like an 8 to a 9.
Okay. Can you tell me about some of the things that you like to do?
Yes, so I love to play golf. I teach Tai Chi. And I also like to play with my grandchildren on the Wii. And I also help my wife around the house. If anything is broken or needs repaired, I always do that. And I also like to walk my dog.
Can you tell me about some of the areas you're having the most difficulty with?
So I love to play golf, and I'm having trouble doing that because it's hard for me to grip the golf club. It's also hard for me to lift heavy things. I'm having problems with driving because I can't really grip the steering wheel very good. And I've also been waking up in the middle of the night because it's all the pain I'm experiencing in my wrist.
Okay, Sean, so I have a list of things to go over about your splint. So first thing, the purpose of the splint is just to help you with some support with functional activities and positioning for your wrist, since you did mention that it was kind of weak. I do want you to wear this, especially during like harder or strenuous activities and when you're sleeping. It'll eliminate you being able to bend your wrist, so that won't be waking you up in the middle of the night. Also, some things to keep in mind, you need to keep this out of like direct heat, so leaving it in your car or putting it like on your dashboard of your car when it's hot outside is gonna kind of affect the shape of it and it won't fit your wrist as well. And then also keeping it away from your dog. It is waterproof. However, I do suggest just taking it off when you're showering so you can clean your arm very well. And you can take it off when you aren't doing any strenuous activities. For cleaning the splint, you do want to use soap and water, or you can use a mild cleanser or alcohol wipes and then just let it air dry. The straps you can take off and you can put them in the washer, just let those air dry. You don't ever want to put your splint in the washer or the dryer because it's just gonna kind of mess up the way it fits. And then I mentioned that it is waterproof, so if you go swimming with your family, like you can wear it or you can take it off, whichever one you want. And leaving it out of direct heat, we talked about that. So one thing I do want you to do every day is just check it and make sure there's no cracks in it or that it's not having any loose pieces or fitting weird. So some things I want you to really keep in mind: if you're having any increased pain or soreness, more swelling or stiffness, numbness, skin irritation or red areas, you need to take off the splint and call immediately, and we will check it out and fix it for you. And then some precautions is not using oil or lotion with the splint, and then not sticking anything underneath it that might pinch or poke you or be uncomfortable. And just a few notes: when you're strapping on the splint, make sure the straps are snug but not too tight. Also, when you're taking off the splint, there is going to be some redness in your hand, especially on areas that have like a lot of pressure. If the redness persists for longer than 15 minutes, then you need to call and we'll get that checked out for you and fix it. But I will send this home with you so you can look at it, especially when the contraindications, if you're ever feeling those. Now you have like a list that you can check. So this is just some exercise tips for your arthritis. So like do exercise slow and things like that. And also, if you're ever having any like pain or shortness of breath, feeling dizzy, don't partake in any of those exercises. And then this is just some joint protection handout for your arthritis. This kind of just goes through some things to keep in mind, so like wearing your splint or brace, taking breaks if you need it, staying away from being like in one position for long periods of time, allowing extra time for you, not rushing through the activity. Especially when you're not wearing your brace, like pushing open doors with your body weight instead of your weak hand, lifting objects with both hands instead of just your right hand, closing drawers with the palm of your hand, things like that. And then asking for help or not doing exercises that really cause your pain to increase. So I'm gonna also send this home with you that you can just continue to look through it. Okay, Sean, so the splint that you have is the forearm-based thumb spica splint. And evidence has just shown that this is really good for alleviating pain, increasing your stability, and taking stress off of those joints, especially in like the wrist and in the thumb. So I'm gonna have you put the splint on. And so for this, it'll just go up to your forearm and stop at your wrist, and that'll just be really good for like stabilization. So I'll have you do that first. Right. Yep. And then you will just undo the Velcro. You'll put your hand in there, and then you will strap it back and make sure it's snug. Okay. All right. How does that feel?
Feels really good.
All right. Good. And then when you're taking it off, you'll just do this opposite. You'll undo the Velcro, and then you'll take off the splint on your hand, and then you will take it off your forearm. Okay, Sean, I have some adaptive equipment here for you. Have you ever seen these before?
No.
Okay, so these are just some foam buildup tubes, and evidence has shown that simple assist devices such as buildup foam tubes make it easier on your joints, allow you to be more efficient in completing your occupations while also eliminating pain. So things that have really small handles, because I know you mentioned that gripping was something that you were having trouble with. These will allow it to be easier to grip. So like eating utensils or cooking utensils, you can put these on the ends of it and it'll just build up the handle, so it'll be a lot easier to grip instead of having to really do that tight grasp on them. So they come in 3 different sizes. And you can kind of see that the holes are smaller. And so with these, basically you get whatever you're having trouble gripping and you can just put it into the hole and it'll build up the handle. And because it comes in different sizes, anything that has like a smaller handle, you can just put in the smaller hole, such as like your toothbrush or even your razor. And it'll just be really good at helping you become more functional and also not having so much pain when you're performing your ADLs or IADLs, so especially with eating. So I'm gonna have you put that on for me so you kind of feel what it would feel like, and I wanna see if that helps with your gripping or if it's still painful.
Yeah, it's really easy to grip now.
Okay, good. And so we'll get you your own set of these on Amazon, and you can cut If you don't want them to be this long, obviously you can just cut to whatever length that you are, because they will be yours. So here is a link that I have provided. You can just type that link in to Amazon and it'll pull you up directly to the link, and you can get a pack of 6. I think there's 2 of each size. And then next I have this spinner knob. It's just basically this little thing that you can put onto your steering wheel, and it'll be helpful with you turning your wheel, because I know you mentioned that it was you were having some difficulty with that. So evidence has shown that these spinner knobs have been very good for people that have arthritis, because it's just a lot easier for them to turn their wheel because they're not having to grip so hard. So I just provided the link down here for you as well, that if that's something that you'd be interested in, you can just type in that link and it'll take you directly to the thing on Amazon and you can purchase it. So do you have any questions for me?
What's the price of this?
I believe that this is $11.
And how much are those?
$9.99.
Okay, awesome.
And I know you mentioned that you were having some trouble with lifting heavy objects. I know you like to do like housework and yard work. Do you have like a rolling cart at home by chance?
Actually, I do. I have a rolling cart in my shop, and that's just what I've been putting my tools on. Okay,
so that's something that you can do in your house, for example, like when you're doing some housework, instead of having to carry those heavy objects for long distances, you can just have that rolling cart with you at all times, and you can just put whatever's heavy on there and push it around instead of having to carry it like room to room and stuff like that. All right, and if you have any questions, just let me know.
Okay, thank you so much.
So the assistive technology that I chose for you is We Golf. I know that you mentioned that you do love to golf and play Wii with your grandchildren, so I think this would be really fun for you to do. This remote is a lot thicker than a golf club, so it will help you strengthen up your grip strength, which I know you mentioned you were having trouble gripping your golf club. And it'll also help you kind of get the feeling of what it would be like with golfing with your splint, because you are going to have to be wearing that whenever you go out and do some of those strenuous activities. So this will be a really fun activity for you to do. You can do it by yourself, you can do it with your grandkids, really anything. And also later, if you are feeling like super achy or having a lot of pain and you don't want to go out with your son to go golf, or with any of your friends to go golf, you can even just turn this on and still kind of get that feeling of being able to golf, even though you might not be outside and doing the actual pretty strenuous activity. So we'll do it and see what you think. So here you go, Sean. I have it all set up for you. First, put that strap on your wrist, just so if you happen to let go of the remote, it won't fly at the TV. Okay, and I want you to really focus on trying to hold the remote how you would be holding your golf club, really trying to squeeze that right hand to work on those grip, the muscles to increase your grip strength.
Okay.
And then you'll just hold A down and you will just swing like you do with your golf swing.
Awesome.
How does that feel?
This is a lot of fun.
Good.
I feel like I'm at the golf course.
Good, that's good. Yeah, you can just do this whenever you want. If you're at home one day and you want to turn this on, this will be good for working on your grip strength, but also a fun activity that you can do.
We can do this with my grandchildren.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, Sean, the last thing I want to talk to you about is really just what do you want to get out of therapy?
So I would like to get rid of the pain in my wrist. I would also like to have a better grip, a stronger grip, so I can hold on to things. And I also would like to have better sleep at night, because like I said earlier, I keep waking up in the middle of the night because of my pain.
Okay. So I think some good goals that we can have for you are increasing your grip strength up to 30 pounds. I know that whenever we took your grip strength earlier, it was at 40, so I think getting it up to 70 will be very beneficial. So increasing that in your right hand to be able to hold on to things better, like your golf club, and completing your ADLs and IDLs with less pain. And then also reporting a decrease in pain throughout the night by wearing your splint to limit that bending. So how do those sound?
That sounds perfect to me.
Perfect. And I want you to just report how you slept throughout the night for a week in a journal, and we'll see if that splint is helping or not.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right.